What's going on, you guys? It was yours truly, Master Ryo Sakurai here. And this time, I'm going to be doing something different. We're finally going to be going into Super Sentai, talking about it at least. But we're going to be doing it on the safe side because, for one, when I originally wanted to have like Sentai footage in here, a little bit of clips in there, I'm just going to do, the safest route and just have like little photos and whatnot. So that way, I won't get any type of copyright or getting struck down, because with YouTube being all cautious about people stealing each other's stuff, we're just gonna play it safe. But this is the start of talking about Super Sentai. And the reason why I'm going to start with this one is because of the fact that, one, I stated this in the first, I want to say the first time that me and my two other friends were talking about Power Rangers. My Power Ranger knowledge is all the way up to Mystic Force. After that, I stopped watching Power Rangers, like American Power Rangers. I stopped watching that. And soon after, my curiosity had gotten me, because I was wondering, it's like, okay, well, Power Rangers is not really doing things for me, but I'm seeing that these Power Ranger teams that I've never seen before. Like, what is this? What's going on? So I look it up. Finally, I find it all. I look up the name. It's called Super Sentai. That was the first time I ever found out about Super Sentai. And for this one in particular, this was the first Super Sentai series that I ever watched. This is Gogo Sentai Boukenger. This came out in 2006. Now, the theme for this Sentai series, this Sentai team, is a bunch of treasure hunters. And they're all trying to find, these specific treasure pieces that have this hazard level, and they check it with their morphers and whatnot. And I forget what happens at the end of it, but it's this big climactic battle. Sorry about that. This big battle between all of these evil factions. I couldn't even remember the name of them all. The main one was of this, like, apparently pirate. This pirate who used to be human, that decided to just say that he hates humanity and just abandons his human form and puts dragon DNA in himself and becomes this humanoid dragon with this humanoid dragon army and whatnot. Then we got like this other evil, not even a faction, but just this evil entity called High Priest Gaja. I know I mispronounced that, but look, this was a lot to take in. This is a lot of information, okay? He came from like a time period, like I want to say 1,000 years before this series came about, and he was about to like conquer the world with his own type of machines and whatnot. And like at the end, like, well, not the end, but like in the middle of it, he creates this his own type of engine, and he just abuses the shit out of it with everything else he touches. Then you got this other evil faction, which is like this ninja clan tribe who would like the main head of this tribe is a freaking talking owl. It's an old talking owl. I don't remember the name of it. Like, I had just started watching it again not too long ago. But yeah, but let's talk about the main characters of this show, which is the Sentai team. There is Satoru, who is Bokeh Red. There's Sota, who is Bokeh Blue. Masumi, who is Bokeh Black. Natsuki, who is Bokeh Yellow. And Sakura, who is Bokeh Pink. Along with the Sixth Ranger, Eiji, who is Bokeh Silver. Altogether, these six are treasure hunters. The main leader, which is Sota, which is called the Immortal Fang. He calls himself the Immortal Fang. It's because he's like this pronounced treasure hunter who accidentally got his two friends killed by looking for this specific treasure deep in the mountains. Like, the one thing that I realized about Super Sentai period is the fact that with each episode, it's more character development. Like, they either talk about their past, they talk about, you know, them dealing with their past, certain struggles that they're going on with, they're dealing with the job, certain personalities that like are kind of chaotic, kind of dramatic and whatnot, and they try to deal with it. There's even Ranger feuds in this, like many Ranger feuds. There's specifically the Ranger feud between Yellow and Black. There's the Ranger feud between, well, not specifically Ranger feud, but like a little bit of a quarrel between these Rangers. Like Blue and Pink have a connection of trust. Masumi and Natsuki have like this, I guess you call it flirty relationship, because like he had found, but and it's the main thing about the Yellow Ranger, Natsuki. She apparently came from an old civilization called the Lumerian, which I believe they worship the sun to be their god, and like he found her somewhere in like the caves of one of these mountains while looking for treasure, and he's been, you know, taking care of her ever since. But he has his own little backstory too, where he started off as this little kid who was a part of this treasure hunting faction that didn't really treat him right, so he ended up, you know, becoming this hard, selfish type of treasure hunter where he just took anything he got and just had no problem betraying the people he was working with, simply because of the fact that like a monster had killed his team that like that he was with when he was a kid. Edgy is half Ashu, half human. And for those of you who don't know who the Ashu is in this series, it's basically like a humanoid cat that's like in the human evolution line somewhere, and they just happen to roam the earth and was looked at as demons and got sent to the demon realm sometime after. And when Edgy came onto this series, they just started popping up. So there's that. Like I said before, Satoru is the leader. They call him Chief, for one. They do call him Chief. He's the more level-headed person, and he's always up for adventure. Like, he loves adventure. It excites him more than anything else. Another thing about Super Sentai, when I first started watching this, and it shocked the living hell out of me, everyone in this show started saying minor curse words. And I'm just like, why are y'all cursing? They started saying from damn to bitch to hell to bastard. They even said crap. I don't think they said the word shit, but they said crap nonetheless. But yeah, back to the characters. Sota is like used to be like this double agent that was working to find these special artifacts and whatnot. Now that's how he ended up on the team. Sakura, I think it's the same thing, but she was like in like this military like group because she knew all about weapons. There was one episode where like everyone got captured except for Natsuki and Sakura just came out with weapons like rifles and whatnot. She was strapped. Like, I don't know what type of training she had, but she knew what to do with those weapons. Then you have like the engineer who was Morio. He was pretty good, I want to say, because every time they needed some weapons, he would come out. Every time they had new Zords, he would tell them, oh, that this certain Zord's available and whatnot. And yeah, but overall, I want to give this series, because it's the first one that I ever got to watch, I want to give it a 9 out of 10. And that's simply because of the fact that it was the first one I ever watched, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. when it comes to like Sentai teams, this was the one that I loved so much because they were bonding. Nonetheless, they were bonding in this kind of series, and I loved the certain the clashing towards each ranger going into an episode or them dealing with certain things like I said before, and them dealing with like more than one evil faction. There's even this episode where like these two Ashu just starting to survive, and like the high priest Gaja had came across their souls and put engines in them, and they became the questers. Like what the heck? What? And like they weren't weak at all. They were some strong badasses when fighting the Boukengers, and yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. The only thing that was missing for the quest is like I was really hoping that they would get their own swords, but they had like these machines that the high priest made for them, but they were bulky and not really appealing looking. Like if they had their own like lion, like Ashu like swords or like questers like swords, that would be great. That would have been great. That honestly would have been great. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna end this right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you did watch the series, let me know what you think about this, and if you haven't, please make sure to go watch it. Just look it up on Google. There are episodes available, especially on kissasian.com. Well, not .com, but .ru or whatever. I'll I will post the link to that site down below in the description, so all y'all can see what I'm talking about. But yes, as such, this has been Master Ryo Sakurai. I love you guys, and I'm gonna see y'all again next time. I'm out. Peace. Also, I forgot to mention, P.S. Zuban was best boy. Zuban was best boy. That thing packed a punch when Chief had came across it, which turned out to be the sword of Lumerian and whatnot. So it was connected to Natsuki and her like civilization and whatnot. And yeah, the thing was unbeatable. It's unstoppable. So there's that. Zuban, best boy.